Well, today's episode is really very special for me because today we're going to be speaking about how do we think out of the box, how do we think big. Honestly, I think I've spent all my life thinking about being out of the box, achieving my dreams, not living a mediocre life, going for what I feel, going for what I want, traveling around the world. And honestly, finally I see myself doing that and living that life that I've always envisioned, because one of the things that I had the courage was to think out of the box, to think what was my big. So I remember today morning I was running, and I have this thing of listening to this YouTube channel, Motiversity, and there was this one guy who said that, hey, if you know, all those motivated hoarse voices, if you want to think big, you know how they inspire you. If you want to think big, ask a local person, hey, I'm gonna do this, and see what does he or she need to say. If they say that, hey, you can do it, that means no, then you just go back home and be okay, I need to think of something really big. And what the whole video said was that if you go to a person in your local area and be hey, I'm gonna do this, and if he or she says that no, you can't do this, that means that you've hit the jackpot. That's what a big is. So in today's episode, we're going to be discovering how do we get from this transition from how we used to think with all our limited beliefs, patterns, what mama said, papa said, teacher said, children will say, neighbor might talk. How do we move from all of these things towards thinking big and thinking towards what we want to do and achieving grandness in life? Because honestly, you just have one life. You don't want to really waste it and live all frustrated and suppressed. You want to live it, you want to be happy. So let's define in these 7 steps how to think big and how to go for what you want. So step number 1, well, you need to know what does big really mean to you. You have to really do some self-reflection about where you come from and what your upbringing has been, what kind of beliefs that you have been grown up with or been taught in your younger age. What values do you hold close together? So with all of this, a little bit of self-reflection, you need to understand what does big mean to you. Is this big? Make a list of okay, this, I think this is big. What this guy has done is big. What this woman has done is big. I think this is exceptionally amazing. This is huge, so define what does big mean to you. Identify. That's a little bit of exercise so that you start understanding, okay, I know that this is not big and this is big for me. All right, so that's step number 1. Step number 2, just make a list of all the secret wishes that you have, that you think that you've shunned down, through the ages, through your childhood, through your college, university. If you didn't have that, then maybe through your work life, or maybe through your married life, or through your struggles. I understand, and I mean, we all have to go through it. I have been through it, my family's been through it, my friends have been through it, the biggest of superstars have gone through it, the biggest of the entrepreneurs have gone through it. Is that where in your life, you might be having moments where you have suppressed and wrapped those wishes somewhere and just forgotten about them. You're okay, this is just not gonna happen in my life anymore. So go back to that, make a list of all the things that you think that you have shunned. Maybe I wanted to sing, maybe I wanted to make a bakery, maybe I wanted to start a shoe business, maybe I wanted to travel around the world and do some blogging. I don't know. Maybe what could you have done, or what were the wishes that you have over the life shunned it. Think about yourself when you were really small, the younger you, when you were 5, 6, 7. Think about, oh, when I was 5, when I was 7, when I was 10, what did I want? How did I feel? This is what I wanted. These were my dreams. Then I grew up. This is what I wanted. Make a list of all those things that along the way, with the battering and shattering of life and life, that you have forgotten about it. So that's step number 2. Step number 3. So the previous step, what you did, the whole list that you made about all the things that you have, your secret wishes, your secret desires, your ambitions, or your goals that you haven't really followed up with. In step number 3, you need to go through it, each one of it, and feel it within your soul. What if I achieve this? How would I feel? Like recognize that, okay, if I achieve this, if had I done this, this is how I would feel. I would feel today. I would feel in the moment. Go through everything and define how you feel in the third step. And I'll tell you where this goes, but just do this in the third step. All right. Now, step number 4, it's very important to identify and analyze these feelings. Okay, where do they come from? Where do they come from when you imagine like, okay, this is how I feel when I've achieved this. Like, I feel so good about it. Now, identify, like, is the source of this feeling, is the source of achieving this goal coming from a superficial space? Like, is it to show off to your neighbor or your ex-boyfriend or your boss or your friends or your parents, so see if that's to show a lesson, revenge, I don't know, what's the source of it? Is it a pure source? Is it a source that you are proud of? Is it a source that makes you feel happy, or does it weigh you down? Like, what's the source of where that comes from? Now, on the other side of the source is not to show off. It's something that you really feel. It's something that you felt in your childhood, working on something or playing something or feel passionate about something in your life. When you think that if you're going to be doing that, or if you imagine it, you feel, you connect to it, you see it possible, your vision starts creating things on like how it's going to be working about. When that feeling comes from a source of creativity, of creation, of doing something, of building your life energy outside, then that is your pick. All right. So that's how you analyze, like, where does the source? Is it show off, or is it the real feels? In the 5th step, what you do is you just decide. You decided, okay, out of all these things, this is what I want to do because this is what really makes me feel good. So now you've made a list of 20 things or 10 things or whatever it is. You discarded a few in the 4th step where you're like, okay, this is not me. And now the ones that are you, from all those things that are you need to define, like, okay, what is it that I'm going to go for? This is what feels me. Okay, in the 5th step, you just define, this is what I want in my life. Like, this is me. I'm going to get this. This is what is going to make me happy. I'm ready to give like everything to it. I'm willing to like make sacrifices for it. I'm willing to like change my habits. I'm willing to like, learn about this. So like define it in this step. Like, this is out of all this list, this is what I'm going to go for. Some people want to like just be like a rock star because they like the life of a rock star, but they don't want to like go into do the hard work of a rock star. They don't want the hours of like voice training and like, the works. So define like, what is it that you think that you can just go like crazy, like days, like just spend hours and just enjoy as if like, you're not working. You just like time is flying away. Step number 6. Now this is the part where all the fun starts to begin, because now that you've decided that, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, this is what I have. Like, this is what is big for me. This is what if I achieve. This is the road if I take, I'm going to really feel like great about myself. And this is the big that I want in my life. Once you've decided all of it, now you need to like think that how you're going to get it. Let's say you want to open a restaurant. Let's say you want to participate in a bodybuilding event and win a title. Let's say you want to launch a music album or write a book. It can be anything. Like, there's just no limitation to what you can achieve in life. Now that you have decided that, you're big, like keeping all those limiting beliefs behind and be like, okay, this is achievable. I can do this. This is like, I'm going to go for it. You weighed all the things that you know that you want to make the sacrifices of time, this, that, of your thinking. The main step right now is to go after it and look at people who've done it. Check their journeys. Google is there. You have, in today's day and age, you have ChatGPT as well, who can like just respond to everything that the questions that you have about how do I do this, how do I do that, who should I write to. Give me like, like what's the roadmap, like read stories and like watch journeys of people who achieved it and make a roadmap, and like think that, okay, these are the 40, 50 things or 4, 5 things or 2 things or the first thing like, that I have to do. So define all the things that you need to do and the road that you need to take. like the things that you need to do and like the sacrifices that you need to make, and like make a list of everything that is considered as your input, like your effort, your giving for you to receive this grandness, this life or this dream that you're looking for. Well, and after all of this, finally what you need to do is just start and do it. Like, I think that is the main important step that goes without saying, that until unless you don't take action, until unless you don't put your batteries on and like, you know, wake up in the morning and like decide at night that tomorrow I'm going to do this, and like this is the dream that I'm going to go for, and this is what I'm going to achieve in my life, or this is the big that I want to have, or this is the big that I want to think, or this is the out of box that I want to reach, this is the life that I want to make. Until unless you don't really take a step or decide that, okay, this is how I'm going to start, it's still again going to be a dream. So it's very important that you decide on a start date, and once you commit, like since there's no turning back. Like that is your journey to your big, that's your journey towards your transformation, that's your journey towards shifting like your mindset from the previous mindset to what you want it to be into. That's the main step, obviously, that I really wish that everyone who goes through this whole process, like, you know, starts their journey, because life is really too short and there's so much to live, and everyone is gifted with this energy, with this capability to activate these, you know, these vibrations, to go and get for what their big is, to think in the way that they want to live in the way they want to, and experience like this one life that they have in some humongously like extraordinary ways. So yeah, this is the basic roadmap to thinking big.